Hi, I'm Eric Dewey.
And this is Steve O'Mooney.
And I'm Matthew Renfro.
And we're Socially Awkward. You're listening to another great production on the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows at foureyedradio.com.
It's your good pal, Steve-O from the Four-Eyed Radio Network. I'm here to talk to you about a wonderful designer we all know, Revenge Lover. Illustrates and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, please visit revengelover.com. And just do yourself a favor and tell him Steve-O sent you. I know it really doesn't count for anything, but, I mean, come on. Who are you gonna trust? You gonna trust somebody else? No, you're gonna trust me, Steve-O. Because, face it, I'm awesome.
Don't cry for me, America! America, you've stumbled into episode 92 of the Warpod, where we transcribe, eliminate, modulate, and defecate all over the latest and greatest news of the internet. I'm Zach Nanamus.
It's episode 91. I'm Jonnydem.
Just wanted to remind everybody that this episode was brought to you in part by Musings of a Geek, the Houston Nerdcasting Collective, and the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the new TMNT video game, Joss Whedon's Christmas Leftovers, and all the new Kung Fu stuff that's been coming out lately.
Yes.
Johnny?
What?
Where would you like to start?
I'm going to pick something and you're going to tell me how bad my decision was.
That was pretty bad to say. You shouldn't foreshadow by just say, what if Star Wars had foreshadowed and it was like, Obi-Wan dies, like just randomly in the first act?
I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, let's go with Kung Fu.
Kung Fu! By the way, Kung Fu is my favorite word.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
Yeah, Kung Fu is my favorite word because you can literally put anything in front of it and make it sound way more badass.
Yeah. Wall Kung Fu.
Wall Kung Fu. Wall-style Kung Fu.
Lamp Kung Fu.
T-shirt Kung Fu.
I'm just looking at things around the room.
Lamp.
Lamp.
Lamp Kung Fu.
Yeah.
I love Lamp Kung Fu.
Or we could just... There's a Pokemon on the wall. We just Pokemon Kung Fu.
There are Kung Fu Pokemon. There's Hitmonlee,
Hitmonchan,
and Hitmonchan, the Punching Man.
Yeah.
Yes. And then there's Hitmonchoke, which
Is that really a thing?
Oh, sorry, it's Machoke.
Yeah, it's Machoke.
Yeah, and that just sounds like spousal abuse to me.
It does. I'm gonna go back home and Machoke my wife. That's not really. That doesn't sound right.
You made that sound more like a saying.
God
like,
damn.
You know that old chestnut, I'm gonna go home and machoke my wife. You hear me, fellas? Is this thing on? Okay, so new Kung Fu stuff coming out lately. We have a new Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movie that's coming out on Netflix.
Is it a movie or are they doing a TV show?
It's a movie. It's a sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
For the Netflix.
Yes. It's going to be out...
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm looking for my damn tablet. It's got my notes on it.
You had notes?
I always do notes.
On what? You didn't even know what we were going to talk about.
I did. You told me.
Okay.
Well, this is going swimmingly well.
Why were you looking over here? You were like...
I was looking everywhere.
Tablet? Tablet?
Tablet?
No, okay.
Oh, there it is.
So there's going to be a new Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in late February. There's rumors of a new Kill Bill, and I believe they've already started a new AMC show called Into the Badlands. And
Yes.
They've already started that.
Yes.
Right? Okay, I haven't seen any of it.
Yes.
But the reason that I kind of wanted to bring it up is because, I don't know, I thought that with movies like To a certain extent, the Mission Impossible, the new James Bond, certainly Batman, that all prevalently featured more realistic, more updated fighting style. I kind of thought that
Kung Fu was dead.
Yeah, I did. I think I mentioned this on the show before, but it's from Chinese theater.
It is.
You know, all like the Hong Kong Kung Fu stuff. Oh no, actually, I said that on Knights of Win. But no, all the Hong Kong Kung Fu stuff. It's from Chinese theater. It echoes these very sophisticated, very well done dance numbers that they used to do in Chinese plays and stuff like that.
That's how Jackie Chan got his start.
Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung.
Yep.
They're actually part of the same school. Which you can actually watch a movie. It's an autobiography of them called Painted Faces. It's like the only non-Kung Fu movie that both of them have done.
Huh.
And they're in the same one together. So yeah, I could have sworn that Kung Fu was dead.
Right. As it should be.
Am I wrong?
Oh, no, I don't like it.
You don't like Kung Fu?
No, well, what I was thinking about this today, and what I think, it kind of, I don't like it. I don't like it when I'm watching it in a movie, usually, because kind of what you were saying before, like it's a less practical martial art. It is more theater than anything else, and that kind of takes me out of a story sometimes, especially if it's supposed to be about combat.
And even to Kung Fu fighters, like literal guys who know Kung Fu, when they fight, it doesn't look like that.
No, right, exactly, yeah. Now, there are exceptions to that. Like, for instance, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That's a theatrical type of movie, and they embrace that theater of it. It's exaggerated in a lot of ways, and I can.
Can you tell me an example of a non-theatrical movie?
Well, it's one that doesn't shy away from the fact that it's exaggerated
or fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking possibly about like
a movie, like a documentary,
like employment training videos. I don't like to see a lot of Kung Fu when I'm trying to learn how to be a manager at the Arby's.
No.
I know you got a big chip on your shoulder about that.
Arby's, yeah.
And that chip can be yours for 99 cents now at Arby's. I'm sorry. They don't sell chips. That was... Okay, open letter to Arby's. If you want to be on the show and vent your grievances to us, that's fine.
No, I don't think we should have them on until they start selling chips. I think we should make a stance.
Okay. Then everybody go on Twitter and go to www.twitter, #Arby'sChips, #at the Warpod.
Yeah. #at the Warpod?
Yeah, #at the Warpod. And first 5, we'll send you some free chips.
Yep.
Yep, send you some... Yep.
Yep. No, it's said now.
That's the contest.
It's all there.
Go to Twitter and tweet at us Arby's Chips and #Arby's Chips and mention the Warpod. And the first 5 will get a free bag of chips.
Since the word "go," because we say "go" at the beginning of each podcast, obviously, I feel very disconnected from this episode.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Because you've been playing on your iPad the entire time.
It's not an iPad. I would never own an iPad.
It's an iPad.
No, it's not.
Nevertheless. Okay. So, you're okay with it in the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, because I feel like it's almost done. I don't know if...
dating back to Kung Fu.
Yeah, Kung Fu. So, anyway, like I said, I don't know if it's because it feels more... This sounds racist.
It feels more Chinese. Is that what you were going to say?
I was going to say it feels more legit because they're Chinese doing Kung Fu. Well, when...
Yeah, now you're there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Really back from that one.
Well, when I'm eating a grilled cheese, I feel like it's more legit if a white person's doing it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, so
we're doing the chicken dance.
That too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and wearing khakis.
Jackie Chan wears khakis in like every...
shorts. Khaki shorts. Yeah. I was thinking about that one for a second. Like, no, it's the shorts. It's the khaki shorts. Which I own some. Okay,
so you like it to be in a movie that embraces its fantasy, and as long as the actors are Chinese.
It helps. They don't have to be Chinese.
Okay.
Now, for example, one movie that I think...
For example, Tony Jaa.
No, one very great example, it's not real Kung Fu, but it's called... what is it? Kung Fu...
Hustle?
No, what's the other one?
Panda?
No, the other one, the one that's really exaggerated, the one with the T-Rex and Hitler.
Oh, Kung Fury.
Kung Fury. I was trying to say Kung Fu something, but it's actually part of the word.
Yes.
Kung Fury. Yes. Absolutely fantastic. Not real Kung Fu, but it's absolutely great and it embraces it as a joke. You know, and other movies that use it as a joke, actually, I feel are good too. Like
Austin Powers.
No, Enter the Fist.
Kung Pao.
Kung Pao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that movie has a fair amount of real Hong Kong Kung Fu in it.
Right, because it's a spoof. It's an actual movie that they basically overlaid.
Together.
They overlaid another movie on top of. But yeah, that's when they're making fun of shit. That's I think it's because it's a joke of a martial arts. As far as lethal, practical martial arts go, it's kind of a joke.
Well, it's not the martial art itself that's it that doesn't work. It's the presentation, the way that it's wrapped up in this Chinese theater version of a dance.
Right.
You know, because there are kung fu fighters. It is a sport in China.
Oh, I know. I
but
kickboxed against one.
Yeah, it looks more like kickboxing.
Exaggerated though. There's more exaggerated movements in kung fu.
The guys I saw, the guys competing in China, pretty much just kickboxing.
Yeah, but was it always? They usually implement and encourage more spinning kicks and things like that.
Not that I saw.
Well, when I witnessed
I saw more throws.
So it's kind of a mix of judo and other stuff. Like it's kind of judo-y.
You know, it's just fighting. It's just fighting. Just getting at it.
Just getting going.
You know.
So I guess there's two different versions of the ones you see in the theater versus practical kung fu, which we don't see a lot of.
Yeah.
As Americans who watch a lot of movies.
I will say this, in the context of a show like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Yeah.
or I'd say Iron Monkey also, you get a sense that these big, elaborate motions that they're doing are like part of a mystical art, are part of a something or other, and that's the only way that they can do all of the amazing stuff. That they are summoning something greater through these actions, and then wham!
Is it the one that has the different monkey, or not monkey, but animal styles?
No.
That's some other martial art. I'm going to do monkey style. I'm going to do tiger style.
Well, there are different animal styles in Kung Fu, but Iron Monkey was actually a movie that Quentin Tarantino was a big fan of, but I don't know if it was the original movie or the localization made absolutely no sense. So he took the movie and recut it and gave it brand new subtitles and re-released it.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's actually not bad. It's very simplistic, but not bad. You also get that sense from... Okay, a good counterexample would be Fearless, the Jet Li.
Oh, yeah.
But Fearless is just so beautiful that it's hard not to get swept.
That's not the one where he's like a time traveler, is it?
No, that's the one.
Okay. I never saw it, but it looked goofy to me.
It's the one where he's got...
He's fearless.
It's the one where he's got Kung Fu.
Yeah, that one.
Which movie was it that he did immediately after he said, no more Kung Fu movies for me? He like said, no more martial arts movies.
Was it the one where he plays Danny, the human dog?
No, that was Unleashed.
Unleashed.
No, it was called War.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was saying it's not a Kung Fu movie. And I was like, is Jet Li doing Kung Fu? And they were like, yeah.
Got me there. So that's Kung Fu.
That's Kung Fu. Are you excited for any of these things? Any of the things that
I will watch the Crouching Tiger one because I really enjoyed the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The Kill Bill one is not actually happening.
It's not. They've confirmed that it's not going to happen.
At least the sources that I found.
It was a rumor to start with.
Right, but it was actually, I found a website that actually had chronological rumors of that whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there was rumors that bounced around. Tarantino was working on other projects. He's like, yeah, we want to do it. And then Uma Thurman was like, yeah, I want to do it. And then some other stuff happened, and then the latest one I saw was that he said he's not going to do it because he wants to focus on other projects, new projects. He doesn't want to rehash.
He's going to let J.J. Abrams do it.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to see a Kung Fu movie from J.J. Abrams.
With just, like, they take out a glaive and a set of nunchucks, and it's just, one person should wield lens flare. That should be their big...
Oh, lens flare?
Yeah, that should be their big... Yeah. No, that's Christopher Nolan. There should be a movie where like one actor is directed by Christopher Nolan and the other one's directed by J.J. Abrams. And like, whoa. That would be the name of the movie. Whoa.
That needs to be a thing.
Okay, what about Into the Badlands? You gonna give this time of day?
I've been reluctant to. Mm-hmm. I've heard good things about it from people whose opinions I like and trust, but it looks cheap to me. And I know that might sound stupid to some people, but for some reason it doesn't. I don't like the way it looks. I really don't.
No, I get that. TV kung fu is like hard to pull off because like kung fu works best like when it's centered around ideas and like there's only so like you have to think long and hard to come up with even one good idea that's going to be a showstopper. Ooh, that was gosh, let me think of an example from here. Let's try to think of one from Kill Bill. I guess when she's like breakdancing and like taking everybody's ankles out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big, oh man, that's a cool action idea. Or when she straight up scalped Orin Ishii. You know, that's an interesting action idea. And so how can you do this week after week after week with interesting ideas? It's going to dissolve, well, it has dissolved in the past with shows like Martial Law, Kung Fu The Legend Continues. You know, it just kind of dissolved into, oh, I'm a character that punches and kicks.
Yes, and that kind of actually brings me to a very similar idea on a next topic, but I want to make sure you get your last 2 cents in here about if you're going to watch any of these.
Well, obviously I'm not going to watch Kill Bill, but I would say to a one Quentin Tarantino, if he's going to pass the torch to anybody or maybe pick up the project later, I'm done with Kill Bill. It was perfect the way it was.
Yeah, you don't want to beat a dead horse on that. With your iron fist, which brings me to
Looks like someone's been partaking in the soy sauce. This is great radio.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist!
That's another Kung Fu related thing that you didn't mention that it is coming out soon.
I don't know what that is.
You're messing with me.
I don't.
You don't know who Iron Fist is?
I know about Iron Fist Kung Fu. I actually practice it. Well, not the Kung Fu style itself, but the hand conditioning.
Iron Fist, the superhero? Just coming to Netflix?
Oh! I thought that it was gonna be like... I thought it was going to be like some avant-garde, like Quentin Tarantino's buddy, Jackie Tarantino, that wanted to make a student film, and Uma Thurman was going to hang out or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but Iron Fist from Marvel, the Marvel Comics universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is Kung Fu related.
Johnny, we already have a problem, as far as you're concerned.
What?
Iron Fist is not Chinese.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bode well. His name. That's one strike against him.
Danny Rand is his name, actually.
Okay. So
what about him?
Nothing. I was just wondering if you're excited about all those titles you mentioned.
Hell yeah!
So that one,
I am so excited for Iron Fist. Iron Fist is my jam. I love him so much. That's why I was really excited to see Luke Cage. By the way, like about 5 episodes ago. You told me that we never see Luke Cage in his gold shirt. That's a lie. It is the first costume you see him in.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
In a gold shirt?
In a gold shirt.
It's not as bright as it usually is, though.
He's in muted lighting.
I'm gonna have to go back and check.
It's not a scene with him. It's when Jessica Jones is stalking him.
You know what though? I bet I didn't remember because I
wasn't really paying attention.
Well, no, I just the memories I have of him being shirtless completely block out any other images I have of him in my memory.
All the dreams and fantasies and fan art of him being shirtless. By the way, "Sweet Christmas" is actually his catchphrase in the comics.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
I like that.
Yeah, I was going through. It was. I was actually watching a video about Squirrel Girl.
No way.
Yeah. And no, and this is actually in the comic that you gave me because they were trying to put together Great Lakes Avengers, and they were like optioning different people, but actually they used the wrong pad or they used the wrong slate because in the comic that you gave me, they're actually looking for like a babysitter or something like. Well,
correct.
That doesn't make any sense.
No,
I'm sorry. They are
Squirrel Girl.
They are trying to put together new Avengers, and Luke Cage is one of the people that they talk to, and he's like, "Sweet Christmas, no."
I love that. Very cool. Anyway, my segue that I tried to work in there like 10 minutes ago. The Joss Whedon said some shit about TV and Marvel TV shows.
Yes.
Specifically, that one. Oh no! Don't leave me hanging. Fuck.
Leftovers.
It's not the name of the show. Nice
Agents
try.
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but what you're talking about is Joss Whedon.
And his quote, yeah.
Yeah, he said that unfortunately, because a lot of ideas from the Marvel comics are going to the movies, the shows wind up getting leftovers. For example, they wanted to use Loki's scepter in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it wound up getting reused in the movies, so they were like, well, we have to go a different direction. You know? Okay, your thoughts. You seemed pretty interested in bringing it up. Mm-hmm. You tell me.
Well, I think what he said is true. I think it's true to an extent, not with all the Marvel shows. I think that obviously the Netflix ones were going a different direction already, and I think they kind of on purpose maybe have chosen the superheroes they chose to not step on the toes of the big guys. And that may be true, maybe not. But
I think they're trying to go like microcosmic with it because they're only picking. They picked Jessica Jones and Daredevil,
right?
Who both operate Hell's Kitchen, and they looped in Luke Cage into Hell's Kitchen, and
Iron Fist is going to drop from the sky.
Well, Iron Fist and Luke Cage are linked,
so
they're kind of just trying to keep them in like this 10-block radius,
right? Which is cool. Soon it'll be the most crime-free part of New York City.
No.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, so the whole point of me, I was trying to get to this whole thing is that Joss Whedon said what he said. I think he's more or less honest and truthful about it. And the thing is, I think that is the case with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that show is not very good. I don't think it's produced very well. And I think if Marvel was going to go make TV shows, personally, I would like to see something higher budget, higher production value, a la Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, a lot of AMC shows like that.
Those shows are made pretty cheaply too. The difference, the real difference, is that not as many CG special effects are necessary. I'd say that's the real difference there. That's why they don't show their cost as much. You know what I mean? You don't have like robots and like laser blasts in those shows.
Yeah,
you get them every once in a while. I know what you're going to say. Oh, there's a dragon. I don't know Game of Thrones, but
he shoots lasers too.
Does he?
No.
Okay. So yeah, every 10 episodes, maybe there's a dragon.
Well, there's absolutely no way those budgets are anywhere comparable. There's no way. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has probably half the budget that Game of Thrones has.
We don't know, because the thing is that they need CG for every episode.
Uh-huh.
You know, and CG's expensive.
They don't need it.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Well, Daredevil is doing just fine. Jessica Jones is doing just fine without it.
Mm-hmm.
So why does Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. need it?
Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is Marvel Movies the show. You know, all the Netflix stuff that's character driven, and they had a particular idea in mind. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they were like, we need to make a show about Marvel because it's popular and we like.
So we're gonna make something cheap.
We like Coulson.
We're gonna make something cheap, and that way we can cash in on this thing because it's got the Marvel name on it. They didn't have to put a lot of money into it, and they didn't.
No, they put a fair... I'm telling you, they use a lot of special effects in that show.
I know, and they're horrible. I've seen the show.
They're TV special effects.
Oh my god. Walking Dead has special effects too, and I can go back to the Game of Thrones reference because there's plenty of CG in that too. These things.
There's some. It's not every episode.
Oh god damn it! No, it's not every episode, but it's a fair amount of episodes.
Right. So we're talking about a pretty expensive idea. Game of Thrones uses it every once in a while.
It's a higher quality show,
Marvel
regardless.
uses it constantly.
Regardless, it's a higher quality show.
It has to do with where their money goes.
better actors. There, I said it.
I don't know. Never seen the show.
Fuck that show. I get one.
No, I'm serious. I've never seen. I saw one episode of I saw 2 minutes of one episode of Game of Thrones.
I've seen more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than you've seen Game of Thrones, so I should be considered the expert on this. You heard me.
Wait, you've seen more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than me?
I've seen more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than you have seen of Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen all of Game of Thrones.
I've seen some of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you just admitted to how much.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue about this entire point, entire fucking podcast.
I know that it's a lot of people standing in the snow arguing with one another in Ren Fair costumes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's an awful lot of the show.
You just admitted how much you've watched of it.
I also saw the bad lip reading.
Yeah, okay. Well, 30% is in the snow. They're arguing in other places, Zach.
There's a bunch of people in Ren Fair outfits standing around arguing. Of course they can afford the best cameras, you know? And they can get the tracking shot because they don't have to cut away to the CG monster.
They also have a lot of British actors, and you know those guys don't come cheap.
Which ones? The thing about American actors is you have a tendency to know their names, and as a result, they cost money.
Yeah, but you have to import the British.
Also, they're filming it abroad, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Anyway, the whole point is, I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a cheaply made show.
It is.
And it's just not... All right. So that's the whole point. I feel like Joss Whedon had a point. I think that this isn't just sour grapes and him still bad-mouthing Marvel, because he did have some issues with them.
The thing is, it's a good show. And as far as leftovers are concerned, keep them coming, because, like...
It's a big universe.
The worst thing that they could do is say, oh, that was popular in the movie, let's do it in the show.
Yeah, don't do that.
So, I don't mind leftovers as long as it's a new idea. And, of course, it's going to be scaled back a bit. Because the movies are obviously going in kind of a different direction. And they can't tell the same kind of stories in the movie that they tell in the show. They're just not allowed to.
Right.
Because, you can't do an entire movie where Robert Downey Jr. has a brain injury and he can't do Iron Man stuff. You know, like, for example, because they did part of a season where one of their tech guys had a brain injury and he couldn't do tech guy stuff
because of the concussions.
It was oxygen deprivation. Yeah.
Well, I wrote down this thing in my notes I thought was really clever of me, so I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I think the Marvel network TV stuff is they're like McDonald's. They don't have to make steak to make money.
Ladies and gentlemen, the clever thing that Johnny said.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's kind of those cheapo toys.
Yeah.
They have the it's not the Black Series anymore, but I think it's just Marvel Universe characters.
That's racist.
And the Black Series is a thing.
Okay.
It's like a toy line. And those are like $20, and then you have like the $8 ones, and they're the Connect-A-Figure, where you can like pull them apart, and like some of them are really cheap, and some of it's really good. I haven't seen all of season 2 of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was very satisfied with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 1. And what I've seen of season 2, I also did like. But the Netflix stuff just seemed
better.
They just look. They seem like somebody started them because they wanted to tell a particular story, which I think might be damning to their longevity. Like with Daredevil, they've set it up pretty well to keep going, but they did not set up Jessica Jones very well to keep going, unless they want to just make her Jewel. You know, they set her up to be Jewel.
I wish they kind of would go that way.
Nah.
I want to see her as Jewel. I thought I was going to see it in the show, and I didn't.
It's kind of one of those things where, like, Coulson and the gang, of course they save the world every week. That's their job. But with these people, if, like, so many horrifying things happen to them every season, you know, it's just, why them? You know?
Because they're in Hell's Kitchen, and they gotta do stuff.
They gotta cook those crackers.
They gotta cook the crackers in the kitchen.
More racism. Thank you, Johnny.
God damn it.
Okay. Speaking of Hell's Kitchen, Johnny, what you been playing lately?
The spoons and the washboard.
What?
I've actually been playing a fair amount of Fallout 4. And I'm enjoying that game. But it's interesting. The more people I've encountered, like friends and stuff that have played it, they're more and more dissatisfied with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not having that same experience.
Are you saying that it's living up to the hype? Because I think that most people just have the hype blues.
Yeah, that's probably a lot of it. But to me, these games, like I mean, the game sounded great. Another Fallout series, another first-person perspective story. That's not the story so much. It's the gameplay. It's actually going out in the world.
It is not the story.
Yeah, people are dissatisfied with the story. I'm hardly continuing the story. Like I'll take large breaks from the story. I don't really care about the story. So far, I mean, it's not that great. But
This is the game you were just gushing over.
I like it. I do enjoy it because what's great about these games, and I've talked about this before, is like same thing with Morrowind, Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout 3. The story is the least interesting thing for me. I go out and I just explore the world. I fight shit. I level up, get strong. I get, more abilities, go out and kill more stuff. What I really like about Fallout 4 is it's much better than Fallout 3 for that if you play the game like I do. Because I'm encountering things I have to use a mini nuke to kill, which I'm having a lot of fun with.
What are you encountering that you need a mini nuke for?
There's like twice I've encountered like what are they called? The guys with the shells.
Mirelurk?
Yeah. There's the queen. There's two queens.
The really big one?
Yeah.
The one's like a building?
Yeah.
Oh, you can take her out with a rocket launcher.
I've yet to encounter a rocket launcher. I encountered a mini nuke before I encountered the Fat Boy, or whatever it's called, Fat Man, before I got a rocket launcher.
The first area where you meet one, there's a rocket launcher there.
What do you mean the first area?
I'm talking about the Minutemen one, the castle.
I did not find the rocket launcher there.
It's there.
But I already had a mini nuke, so I didn't have to find it.
Okay.
Having said that, I'm enjoying that encounter where the encounters where I have to kind of use different equipment, but at the same time, I really think I got that Fat Man way too early. I think that they dished out the power armor way too early. I don't like.
Well, it's supposed to be a central mechanic,
which I don't like. I wish they wouldn't have made it a central mechanic. I wish they would have done it like the other games where you're scraping by, to get through this game, barely hanging on. And eventually when you find that stuff, it's like a godsend. And it's like, yes, finally. You don't have that because you get that power armor so early. It's like, why? Why would I even... I don't know how... I hardly ever use it.
Well, for me, it was about fusion cores. Like, I had so few fusion cores at the beginning that I basically forgot I had power armor and just left it alone. Mm-hmm. But, now I have plenty. And so But the thing is that it is a resource. Mm-hmm. And if you're... Like, when you're finding fusion cores, it's, so fun, finding fusion cores. I'll just use these later. But when you get to the point where it's like, wow, I need some, and you want to go buy some, they're expensive. Mm. So power armor is still something that you use sparingly when you are thinking about using it.
Right. No, I mean, overall, I'm enjoying the game. I'm still not that far. I mean, I haven't even gotten to level 20 yet. I'm kind of taking my time with it, but I'm enjoying it.
I think you're pretty much done with it.
You think I'm done with it?
No, I think I'm done with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I with PlayStation Plus, I actually got King's Quest, the new King's Quest, Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, of course, entitled A Knight's Tale. I'm not looking at America. There you are. I was looking at me. Hey.
Hey.
But no, I sat down and I probably powered through that.
I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off.
What?
You know what's really sweet?
Huh.
I get double the free games.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Why?
Because every single Xbox 360 games with gold, you can now use on your Xbox One. They're all backwards compatible.
Oh, so you get the same one.
What?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
So you get the same one.
Same what?
Game.
No. They're different titles ever since I started doing it. I have 4 titles in 1 month.
Right.
But it's not the same.
But some of them come from the 360.
No.
But then, what if they don't come from the 360? In what manner are they backwards compatible?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You're like, I get double games.
Right, I get two 360 games, 2 Xbox One games.
Yeah, same with PlayStation.
You don't get to play those on your PlayStation 4.
I don't need to. I have a PlayStation 3.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's true. But a lot of people got rid of their PS3s when they upgraded to a PS4.
That's a silly thing, and not a lot of people do that anymore because we've seen how big the retro market is. People are pretty much holding on to their stuff now.
All right. Anyway, King's Quest.
I have a PlayStation 2 in my living room. Yeah, I powered through King's Quest probably in about 5 hours. Most of that in one sitting. I did 1 5-hour sitting, and then like a 10-minute sitting to finish it off. And I was thoroughly entertained the entire way through, and I am going to buy the rest of the series. I absolutely love it.
Okay, how many more are there?
I think there are 6 chapters in total. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of it has to do with Christopher Lloyd.
Well, yeah.
I'm just enjoying... he's like, oh, so great! Great Scott!
Great Scott.
Actually, it's full of puns, which is weird to me.
I like that.
It's like a weirdly... I don't know, it's like... when... And this isn't to say that all... This isn't to say all older people are like this. It's just like when you hear an older person talk about a meme from like 3 days ago, so it's already like old news to you. The whole game's kind of like that. Like, it's just a bunch of dad jokes. I don't know, it's weird. But it really does capture the spirit of the old Sahara games. With one exception. There are no lose scenarios.
Really?
Yeah, there's no way to lose the game.
I don't like that.
Like well, okay, there are ways to die, but you get reset pretty much right where you were, stuff like that. It's really more about, Joe, friend of the show, the way he said it was, Sahara games are at their best when they're like a jigsaw puzzle. And every time you put together a piece of the puzzle, you get a story element. And that one does do that very well. And the most interesting parts of the game are actually when you're running around and trying to find out like why this piece fits here and what I need to be focusing on collecting and in what order, which was all very important to the Sierra games. But now all gamers have been spoiled by autosaving, so they can't give us file, or they don't want to give us file management, where we say, okay, I'm going to save here, and if I mess up, I'm coming back to here. Because that was like a big thing with the Sierra games. And at the time, it was kind of like one of their weaknesses, one of the drawbacks to the technology of the time. But now I think it's kind of part of its charm, that you can really mess yourself up on a game and wind up having to do a lot more over again. I'm trying to think of a game that's got a similar challenge style to it.
Meat Boy?
No. Because Meat Boy, if you die, you do everything over again. Like, this is, I guess one example. It's not too terrible, but you need to make the right decisions in a race, and while you're racing, you need to do all the right stuff in order to make this happen. And if you mess it up, the game doesn't say, "Oh, you lose, game over, try again." What it says is, oh, looks like for no reason you get another lap. Like, a lot of it's like, there's, like, legality to the kingdom. They're like, Sector 4 of 298 means the main character gets to win. So just let him try again, please. Actually, at a certain point, the knights at the end of the game, they're all like, oh no, Graham's going to lose. Mess up everything. Like, they literally, like, start messing up parts of the scene so that you get to retry. Like, only just because you're you. And nobody knew you were here. And of course, that story element doesn't make a lot of sense, but the game is supposed to be a brain teaser, not an epic story.
Okay.
So that. Also, I've been watching Deep Space Nine.
How'd that go?
I'm going through all of season 7, and honestly, I'm liking it.
Cool.
Yes.
I finished season 4 of Longmire.
What's Longmire?
Well, I don't know why I said it that
Are
way.
you going to go into a song?
No, I should have, though.
Longmire's a show about a man from the West with a 6-shooter on his hip. He loves to shoot people right in the face and also in the...
Chest.
There you go.
You got it mostly right. He's a sheriff in Wyoming.
And that describes them.
It's pretty close.
Okay.
It's a good show. It's got Katie Sarkoff. Starbuck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's a deputy.
Jeremy's always talking about her.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I never watched
Battlestar?
I never watched Sliders, so I don't know about Starbuck.
Sliders. Is she in that?
No,
you're just saying things.
No, that was the show with Gimli.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha.
Do you remember that show?
Not really.
Oh, like it was.
Wasn't it sci-fi?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a quantum leap kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or sliding in between realities.
Yeah.
And Gimli was in it.
Nice. He's like, what, 7 feet tall?
Yeah, he's a big man. Okay, so what about this Longmire trilogy?
Well, it's season 4. It's one of these shows, just like The Killing, which is a show that was on, I believe it was on AMC.
It's also in Denmark.
Yeah. Was that the one?
Yes. No, it was on AMC, and then...
Well, The Fall, I thought, was the other one that may have been the one you're thinking of.
No.
Okay, is The Killing.
Yeah,
The Killing's a good show.
Yeah, that was the one that went to Netflix.
But the reason I'm saying that it's similar is that it had the same kind of story about the show, not in the show, about the show. Both shows were on cable TV, and then they got canceled, and Netflix bought the rights and created another season.
Cable TV, cable TV. Cable TV, cable TV, yeah. 45 channels of ecstasy, boy, I love my cable TV.
Anyway, Longmire.
Yeah. They were both on AMC, they switched over to Netflix.
Well, I don't think Longmire was on AMC, but it was on TV.
Okay.
And then Netflix bought the rights and then created a final season for each. And Longmire, I just finished the Netflix season, and it's interesting. I think the quality was increased; it's better. They also took some artistic. There's some cinematography that's different in season 4. I can tell that they're doing different shots of them. Anyway, if you watch the season, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Well, I've seen shows that do the same kind of thing. Like Jay and I are actually both watching Eureka right now.
Yeah,
and we're watching the farewell season, and that was immediately after they did the whole. Oh, we went back to 1947, and we had to come back to the future. But are the events in the past? They Star Trek'd it. They J.J. Abrams did is what they did. They J.J. Abrams was all over their own chest, and then they come back and everything's different. And just the whole show's different. The whole feel of everything's different. They did a zombie episode.
Ooh.
Did you not see that?
Eureka? Zombie episode?
Yeah.
I've never seen that show in my life.
You ain't seen Bad Boys 2.
Nope. I have not seen Bad Boys 2. Actually, I have seen Bad Boys 2.
You've gotta watch Eureka.
I've not seen Eureka. Anyway, cool, badass sheriff. He's too cool for everything. School and everything else.
Yeah, you are describing Eureka very well. And no, he's not a fan of the school. Tesla High School for the Gifted.
I was talking about Longmire. I'm trying to bring it back. It's gone, though. I've lost it.
Totally gone. Why would I watch that show?
Good storytelling? There's a cool cowboy with a cowboy rifle. It's got the lever action.
Nah. Not really into westerns.
There's murder mysteries. You know what it reminds me of, especially the first 3 seasons?
Muppet Babies.
No, I would say the first 2 seasons is that I felt like I was watching Matlock a lot. Like it's like these almost every episode had its own little murder mystery, and I would figure it out long before they would tell you what it was.
Sure,
because they always allude to different things, and so I'm like, I'll say it out loud and solve it. And Jessica's like, "How'd you do that?" Okay, she didn't say it like that. I really feminized and really, yeah. Anyway,
yeah, you really over feminized your wife. I gotta say.
Well, God, damn, I'm in a tight spot. Don't tell her I said that.
Hey, Jessica.
Oh God.
Jessica, how's your Y chromosome doing?
Was she asleep? Did she answer you?
She has retired to the loft.
Oh, she's not even in there.
Yeah.
So the whole point is, yeah, it's a fun show. I like it.
Stupid. Back to Kung Fu. There's a new TMNT game coming out. I can't say enough about it. This was a weird thing that happened recently. There was I don't even know where it leaked to. I guess the toilet store. I don't.
It leaked a couple months ago.
But like, where do achievements get leaked to?
Oh, you're talking about that. That was more recent, a little more recent.
Yeah.
The achievement leakage.
Yeah. Where do achievements, like, do they just show up on, like, the Xbox?
Something like that. It's happened to other games before.
Okay. Well, either way, like, Platinum Games, in conjunction with Nickelodeon Studios or whatever, have been... They've been kind of... Activision. They've been kind of standoffish with details about whether or not they're going to have a new TMNT game coming out, but pretty obvious that they are, because all of the achievements for the Xbox 360 version...
They leaked all over the floor.
Yes, they leaked all over the floor. We had to spray the turtles with water, and...
You gotta keep those things moist.
And they're getting spayed next week, so sorry, April.
Oh, God. That's a thing. So anyway, the reason that I thought this was an interesting story is that it is being done by Platinum Games and Activision, who is the same team that brought us the Transformers game. The most recent one that people actually liked because the style was done in like the 80s cartoon, which people are theorizing, and I am theorizing, going on record at this very moment, that it is going to be very much like the TV show in the 90s. Was it 80s and 90s or just 90s?
80s and 90s.
Is it 80s and 90s?
Yeah, that show ran for a long time.
Okay, anyway, that's because it was good.
No, it wasn't.
No.
That show was such crap.
Nostalgia glasses.
Yeah.
I watched it all the time. Anyway, so the reason I think that is because...
New show's really good.
I believe you. I haven't seen it. But the reason I think it's going to be good, and it's going to be very much like the cartoon, is that this game is going to be on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox 360, and the PS3. And so I feel like for it to very easily be made for all those systems, I don't think they're going to blow it out as far as like just the graphics and everything. I think it's going to be a fairly simple, graphically designed game.
The one based on the new show was cross-platform.
Yeah, but it also wasn't.
Like they didn't
push the envelope on the graphics though.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's TMNT. They don't really, they're like McDonald's. They don't have to make steak
right.
in order to make money.
Which is why another reason I think that they will go back to older style graphics and cartoon-like graphics, because that's going to be easier, honestly, and cheaper to make.
I think that this is going to mirror the. I think this is going to mirror the spirit of Turtles in Time. And Turtles in Time...
I hope.
Yeah, Turtles in Time was an interesting mix of...
time travel and kung fu.
I was gonna say the comic and the show. Because...
Okay.
Yeah, because the like the aesthetic of the movie was very popular, and yeah, it had a lot of it had a lot of the characters from the show in it, but it also had 2 characters from the second movie in it, and the movie was nothing like the show. It was much more like the comic book. So I think that we're going to see an aesthetic closer to the comic book, but not indulged so far that fans of mainstream Turtles won't understand it. Because there are some staples that you absolutely have to have. Like different colored masks, pizza loving, things like that.
Yeah, that's
so
really dirty. Don't play with your food, kids, especially like that. Anyway.
It doesn't matter. They all got neutered. Didn't you hear at the beginning of the segment?
I did.
There you go.
Anyway, what if they did this? And this is completely just fanciful.
Fanciful?
Fans of
I do not want a fanciful.
Fans a little.
Do not send me one in the mail.
Fansamilical. You know what I'm saying.
No, but go on.
Yes. So what if, off the top of my head, I just had this thought. What if they did something like Gauntlet, but like the Gauntlet from like the Nintendo 64, where it's very similar. It's more like a 3D, and you're walking through and you're killing shit, and it's like it's a fixed camera. You're going through and you're doing that stuff. And then what they do is to wrap and incorporate all the different types of turtles and different masked characters. They just have a lot of unlockable costumes. And then you can play through the game. It has a lot of replay value that way.
Okay, when you say Gauntlet style, are you talking about the simplicity of it?
No, I mean like the very similar in that it wouldn't necessarily be a side scrolling.
No, it can't be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
So it'd be like the I haven't played the new Gauntlet. I've been wanting to play that with you actually. Mm-hmm. But I would imagine it's very similar to the one that was on the 64. Gauntlet Legends.
No.
It's not at all.
Mechanically, there are similarities.
Yeah.
But aesthetically, it's like a 3D update to the original Gauntlet.
What about, for example, instead of let's use a different example, let's say like Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the mechanics cannot be anywhere similar. Like, if you have one turtle, you should have one turtle. You shouldn't move as a team and have AIs. You know? If you're going to have all 4 turtles on the screen, you need to have 3 friends with you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because it wasn't like that in Ultimate Alliance.
Yes, it was.
No, you had AI.
Was it optional? Or they just make you use
it? Was optional.
Okay.
But it was default, you know?
Oh, okay, I got you.
I'm saying that it shouldn't even be an option. You should be.
I agree with that.
You should be 4 turtles with a fixed camera that's following you guys around, so that you can plan out the difference.
It needs to be a cross between Marvel Ultimate Alliance and like Turtles in Time Arcade. Yeah.
Yeah, basically a 3D update to Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
Where you had predictable screens because, there were invisible walls and you couldn't go too far forward. You put the players into an arena-like scenario, fight. Maybe some bigger ones where the screen goes out for collectibles and stuff like that, timed things, etc., etc.
And a sewer level where you're riding your hoverboard.
Yeah, you could do a back perspective. Where, like, everybody's, like, on an even keel, and it's like a question, it's like almost like a race.
It's almost like a mini game.
Don't hit too many of the things, or you fall behind. I can see that.
Landmines.
Yeah, that would work.
Well, the spiky balls, because they would jump, they would, ow, my toes. That's how they sounded.
We just lost, like, half our viewership, because you got that wrong, by the way.
What the fuck did they say?
My toe!
I pretty much said that.
That's like saying, George Washington was pretty much the next Hitler.
Pretty close. Their facial hair was unique.
What? You lost perspective, Johnny.
I have.
So
Abraham Hitler. Go ahead.
One of the things, I guess the best analogy for the way that this game should be probably has to do with Platinum's other flagship game, Bayonetta.
That's one of their games?
Oh yeah, doggy D.
I read multiple articles on this, and not one of them mentioned that.
Every article that I read on this mentioned.
See, the ones that I read mentioned the Transformers, and then the other one that just came out.
I saw the Transformers thing, but yeah, they did.
What was the other one that they came out with recently?
Bayonetta 2.
It doesn't matter.
But no, a walk around, beat 'em up, and like some of the actual achievements themselves are like deal with taunts and stuff like that. And so I think that this is going to be just a big experience where there's a lot of combos to do, probably a lot of upgradable stuff, which I understand why it's there, but I wish it wasn't.
We gonna let's play this game?
We're gonna let's play this game.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess during that let's play I can just kind of bitch about all of the. Not every game has to be an RPG.
They do now.
You can just have a complex set of moves that we have the ability to use from the beginning, or you know what? Just give us the abilities when you think we're ready. You know, if the level calls for it, that's when you introduce
What if that's
the new mechanic.
What if that's what they're doing, but you get an achievement every time it happens? Because achievements are as much a staple as the RPG elements now.
I know.
There has to be an achievement, even if you're just playing through the game and you're not doing anything spectacular. You're not doing anything different that your neighbor's, doing, except he's watching Ninja Turtle pizza porn.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to say it a little louder so that everyone in the class can hear you.
You said Ninja Turtle pizza porn.
Yes, thank you. The only game that's really handled achievements well, in my opinion...
That should be the name of one of the achievements.
Ninja Turtle pizza porn?
Yes.
Okay. Probably Deadpool.
Yeah, there you go.
Deadpool handled its achievements well.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it treated them for what they were. You know, like you did like the tiniest little thing in the tutorial and you got an achievement.
Yeah. I hate that so much. When other games do it. I mean, I don't know if he was just making fun of them.
Are you excited for the TMNT game?
Yeah.
Are you excited for the Team in 3 game? Yeah.
What's that?
Team in 3 game is where I tie you to a chair and make you play all 3 at once.
I don't want to play that.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to leave until you beat all of them simultaneously within 1/2 second of each end screen.
Hold on. Do I get an achievement for it?
Oh, yeah. It's called Meaningless. It's where I slap you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what they all feel like to me. I kind of want to go through some of these achievements now, just for fun.
Go through some of them.
Turtle Power.
Yeah!
Use switching to defeat one enemy with all 4 turtles.
Uh-oh.
Oh, maybe you can...
Switch between the turtles?
Yeah, go in and out. Maybe they're not all on screen. I'd like if you could tag in and tag out. That'd be cool. Let's see. Hit fast.
Hold on. If this game is a one-player only experience, how upset will you be?
It's not going to be, because there's online stuff. Like, the first... one of the first achievements is called Nice to Meet You. Play online at least once.
Okay.
Yeah. There's let's see. Gold Rush. Transport gold bars 30 times.
What?
I don't know.
I don't remember the turtles having a lot of gold bars.
When turtles fly, traverse 1 mile in the residential area without touching the ground. Destroy
Hoverboards.
Destroy a helicopter. One is simply called Soap. Have all turtles turn into zombies simultaneously by touching contaminated water.
Okay.
This game is going to be ridiculous.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think you're pretty much on the nose with like the 80s just craziness.
Yeah.
But then again, okay, there was a game not too long ago that was called Turtles like Out of the Shell or Out of the Shadows.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and everybody really crapped on that game. And I
There's been a lot of bad turtle games.
Yeah, but I never knew why. Like, why
I haven't
that
played
one?
it.
Because that one looked solid. I haven't played it, but
The last one that I played that was not like going back and playing a retro one on Super Nintendo was actually quite a few years ago still. I think I was in high school. I was like, I'm going to play some co-op Turtles with somebody who was at my house, probably my brother. And the game crapped out. It would not let me go past the first level.
Was that in 2007?
Probably.
The one based on...
I think we talked about this before. It's just crapped out. You would not let you proceed. It was like a broken game out of the box.
Were you Michelangelo and you could helicopter with your nunchucks?
Probably. Are we thinking of the same one?
If you're talking about the one that was based on the movie simply entitled TMNT from 2007, god damn, I'm a nerd. that particular sentence was just like, oh, you mean the one based on the movie simply entitled TMNT from 2007? Like, I never thought I would be that guy that knew that kind of stuff.
You never thought you'd be that guy?
I never thought I'd be that
You're
guy.
that guy.
I know. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, after that brief sojourn into my psyche, I would like to thank basically just Joss Whedon, Liardon Eastman, and pretty much all of China and Tibet for inventing Kung Fu. I do want to tell everybody the first five people who do give us tweet at us any chip related something will receive a bag of chips. That costs no more than $5. So there's your value. There's
that. I also wanted, before we close it out, I did want to also say I've been noticing actual legitimate people registering for the forums on our website.
When you say legitimate, what do you mean?
Like they're actual people. They're not spam bots. Yeah.
Okay.
But I finally managed to keep them from doing that. There's a lot of little.
You finally put all the porn bots in a separate file for later.
Right.
There
right. A lot of them don't even want you to look at porn anymore. They're also trying to sell like weird things like houses and stuff.
Skylanders.
Yeah, a lot of Skylanders. But no, we do see you. I'm going to remember you can always ask us questions on the forums. There's actually a section for that right now, and there will be some discussion topics based off of the stuff we talked about in this episode. So be prepared to talk at us, talk amongst yourselves, talking on the forums and the website thing. I like English. It's my favorite language.
Just be prepared in general.
Be prepared. Yeah, shit's going down.
Be prepared for the turn of a century.
God damn it.
Be prepared for sensational news. A shiny new era is tiptoeing nearer. And where do we feature? Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
This has been another proud production of the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You want to see more shows, go check out www.4eyedradio.com, you winkers.